Yes, hello. In the past video, we have learned about a variable, and now we can assign variables. How we can assign the value to variable, and we know the rule of creating those variables. And we also go through a string concatenation. So now we are going to the last video of a variable, and I'm going to just demonstrate a lot of things in this video here to make you understand this variable very clear. So before we know how we can assign this variable now, and we also understand how we can concatenate or add to separate integers value together to form just one statement. So now just say that I'm just going to initiate a variable, just a demonstration of what we have done so far and put it into practice, and also how to deal with some of the small errors that will come up. So I'm going to initiate one called name, and I'm going to put a value here called Perino Garang. And I'm going to make another one called age and assign a value of 20 to it. So I'm going to print something on the screen. We know very well, in order to print a statement on the screen, we just have to use a print value. Without a print, nothing can be shown on the screen at all. So everything should pass through a print so that it can be printed on the screen or should be shown to the user. So now our print is okay. So I'm just going to put a normal print statement like hello, hello, like this one, just without anything. We know if we print hello, it will just print only hello on the screen, because anything within a double quotation mark will just print it as it is. So I'm just going to it is print as it is, but I want to print something here from the name. And we already know before, if we want to print a values from a variable, we have just to assign it without a double quotation. And as I pass a name here inside the print statement, if I print it, it should print Perino Garang. So we should take advantage of this to actually print something that makes sense on the screen. So that's why I'm putting here hello, or hello, just my name is. And we know to concatenate something, we just have to use a space. No, not a space, just we have to use a comma or a plus. So in this case, I'm going to use a plus, and I'm going to put a name here, and I'm going to put again a plus and a double quotation so that I can continue with my normal string, and I want them to be printed as they are. So hello, my name is name, and the name we know very clear. This name here is as it all a value called Perino Garang. So we know very well Perino Garang should automatically be here. So we need to dynamically print it. So hello, my name is name, and I am, let me just part age here as it is. I'm 8, then again this one here and say years. Yes, I'm going to say here years. It should be small letter actually. So now if I am to print it, we should encounter an error. And let me just try and see here. It's a syntax error, invalid. Perhaps you forgot a comma. And if we had to see here after it, indeed I forget a comma. But I should put a plus, comma and plus, they just perform the same thing, which is concatenations. If we should still see a type error, which can only concatenate string to string, not string to integer, which means that we have a separate data type here of integer value and a string, and these two can never be added like this. So in order to fix this, as we have seen in the previous lecture, is just to come here in front of age and just put str age. Now we are good to go. And if I am to print it here, you will see, hello, my name is Perino and I am 20 years old. If you wonder why am I putting this space here, just because to make a little space between this and this. So just let me remove the first space before age here. And if I am to print it, you will see 20 will be attached to years here, which will not look nice. So this is another way here of how you can create two separate values, and you can concatenate them. And if we face a type error, yes, we need to change the data type to make them all merge, and so that they could all be one. This is one. The second part, what if I make two separate things, like number one, which is num1 short form, and assign the value of 10 to it, and I create another one called num2 and assign the value to but this time it is under quotes. And we know we need to concatenate them. num1 plus num2. And if we are to print it, we should also get a type error which say unsupported operand type for plus, which is between integer and a string, which means even if we pass a number inside a quotation mark, it will still be treated as a string. It should not be a number. These are two separate things. Just let me say I'm here to convert the second one to the second one here. Let me just say here, I'm going to convert the second one into an integer. So I just have the same way you convert things to string before. So we have to use the string keyword, which is int, so we stand for string, and then double parentheses, and then we pass the value or the variable that we want to convert it values. In this case, we are passing in the second variable that we have created here, which all 10 as a string. So if we are to print it here, it should show us 20. And remember, when you convert a string to integer and you concatenate it, it will just perform an arithmetic operations on them, which will be just a normal addition, mathematical addition. So let me just say in this case, I don't want to convert the second one. I just want to deal with the first one here, which I want to convert it to a string because it is an integer type. Now, if we are to print it, it should be 1010 because this one here is converted into a string, and a string is just a sequence of characters, which means they are not treated as a number, so it will just add them together, which is attached to one another. So I hope we are very clear with this part, and please try it again, and again, and I believe you will understand it in this very simple way. So another thing that I want to demonstrate, which should be the last here, is what if. So let's put all what we have learned into practice. Just let me say here, name. We know before to initiate. We know the rule of variables. So I'm going to initiate something here called first name. We know underscore is supported in the middle of this one. Only hyphen is not supported, but underscore is supported. And if you forget, please you can go back to the previous lecture. You learn and you come back again. So I'm going to put here first name, and I'm going to assign value here Perino. I'm going to create another one with second name, and I'm going to assign Garang. And let me concatenate them like first name plus second name. Now let me remove the space that is auto added here, which is here first name and second name. We know that we are now concatenating these two separate strings together, so it should work perfectly without any error because they are of the same data type. So the only problem is that there will be let me just run it first. It will be here Perino Garang, and there will be no space because they are directly concatenated. So to add a space, just you need to put another plus, double quotation, and just pass this quotation in. Just make a space inside the quotation because in Python, space is also treated as a sequence of characters. So if I am to print it here, you will see here we have Perino Garang. So which means the first one here and the second one here, they are both concatenated into one. So let's take advantage of this one. And let me just say, or you can even use your common sense or logic to add something to it. What if I make another one here called full name? Full name, and I assign here first name plus second name into it, which means we know before when we concatenate first name and second name, it will just add this one and this one together. And now we are taking that value that has been added together and we pass it here to a full name. So if we print it a full name, a full name and we print it here, you will see Perino Gara will still be printed because they are already being added here in the first name plus second name. After the concatenation is done here, the value that has been concatenated has again been passed here to the full name, and the full name is printed with which all the first name and second name, which come out to print Perino Garang. And there is no space here because Perino is attached to one another. So to fix this one, yes, we have to put double quotation, space, class here. And if we are to print it, you will see Perino Garang will be printed as it is. So this is a dynamic way of bringing all those things. And I hope everything is very clear. And please, if you didn't understand anything to do with variable, please don't hesitate, comment below, and I will get back to you in 5 hours only.